You are about to discover the secret that can change your life, a miracle within reach of your faith. Don't let the silence of discouragement prevent you from starting over. Stay tuned until the end. Keep your heart open, and if you feel moved by these words, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to receive more content that will strengthen your faith and renew your hope. Because, believe me, the light after the darkness is closer than you think. Have you ever felt like your pain was eternal? As if the night were eternal and the silence of your prayers was in vain? The truth is, at some point, we all face an illness, whether the body, mind, or heart. And what few know is that there is something powerful, revealed in the scriptures, capable of healing wounds that medicine cannot reach. We're not talking about magic formulas or empty promises. We're talking about something real, profound, tried and tested throughout the centuries. Something that acts on the invisible, but transforms the visible. Yes, according to the Bible, there's a spiritual principle with the power to heal, not only illnesses, but also traumas, wounds, grief, and loneliness. And it begins with something few value: faith in the midst of pain. It may seem crazy, but healing doesn't always come as we expect. Sometimes it begins with a sincere, silent cry in the dark of the night. Other times, it reveals itself when we choose to trust, even without understanding. The good news? There's a promise hidden between the lines of Psalm 30 that can change everything. And that's what we're going to talk about. If you're tired of feeling defeated, of carrying pain that no one sees, or if you've lost hope of starting over, this content is for you. The Bible holds a powerful secret that, when understood, can be the beginning of your restoration. Stay with me until the end, because today you will discover that there's cure for any disease, and may this healing begin within you, right where science can't reach. Prepare to see the light even after the darkness. There are times when the soul seems to scream, but no one hears it. The pain is so intimate that it can't always be explained. It's the kind of suffering that only those who feel it understand: sleepless nights, eyes swollen from crying, thoughts that spin like a whirlwind. Loneliness becomes companionship, and anguish constricts the chest as if it were physically palpable. In these dark days, it seems that God's silence hurts more than the noise of the world. Many people don't talk about it, but grief doesn't always come after someone's death. Sometimes it comes after the loss of a dream, a relationship, or a hope. It's an invisible grief that doesn't bring flowers or hugs, but weighs like lead on the heart. The night of crying chooses no time or place. It can visit even the most smiling people, those who shine on the outside but are broken inside. And that's where the story that no one sees begins. Pain has a curious way of isolating us. We try to hide it, smile on social media, keep functioning, but deep inside, something cries out for comfort. Anguish hides behind commitments, and tears disappear into the pillow where no one judges. How many times have you said it's okay, while your world silently crumbled? That's right. That's not weakness. That's humanity. It's not easy to talk about the night, especially when it seems endless, when every minute stretches into hours and your head keeps spinning. Pain, in moments like these, has the power to silence even prayer. Have you ever felt this way? Want to talk to God, but not being able to utter a word? Only tears flowing, as if they were the only language heaven understands. And believe me, they often are. Perhaps you're there right now, living in this time of darkness, feeling like no one understands what you're going through. But let me tell you something. From the bottom of my heart, even Jesus wept. He felt anguish, loneliness, and sought comfort from the Father. This doesn't make you weak, it makes you human, and even more dependent on divine grace. Pain is not the end of the road, but a bridge, and every bridge leads somewhere. And this place begins to reveal itself when you understand that crying has a time, but it's not eternal. The night may seem endless, but it also has a time to end. And when we least expect it, something changes in the air. A silent presence embraces us, and a seed of hope begins to sprout. But that's a topic for our next point. Even when all seems lost and the darkness of night tries to take over, God is there, close to you. Sometimes, in the midst of silence and pain, it seems he is forgotten. But the truth is he never abandons those who trust in him. God's presence is like that light we see on the horizon before dawn, discreet, yet full of promise. Do you know that old saying, after the storm comes a calm? Well, it's not just a popular saying, it's a profound spiritual truth. The pain that torments you today isn't here to stay, and the pain that seems immense has a deadline. God promises restoration, transformation, and renewal. When we least expect it, dawn arrives, bringing with it the scent of hope and the warmth of divine comfort. In those moments of anguish, when we try to cry out, but only a whisper comes out, God hears. Even when our cries are silent, even when our chests are heavy with loneliness, He is there, holding your hand, ready to lift you up. His presence is a guarantee that you are not alone, lost, or forgotten. It is like an invisible hug that comforts and strengthens. It may be difficult to understand in the heat of the moment, but God's promise is clear. Pain is not eternal. What seems like a prison today will turn into freedom. You may not see it now, but the light is coming. Sometimes the secret is simply to trust, even without seeing it. Faith is that bridge between the dark night and the dawn that is yet to come. And it is at this point, in this silent trust, that transformation begins. Hope is sown, and the miracle is announced. Because for God, nothing is impossible. He is an expert at bringing light after darkness, and His promise invites us not to give up, even when our hearts yearn for a new beginning. But the promise is only fulfilled for those who believe. The good news is that this faith can be cultivated through prayer, reading the Word, and taking small but firm steps. In the next topic, we will delve deeper into the message of Psalm 30, which translates this promise into words that comfort and encourage the heart. When we read Psalm 30, we find a message that is a pure balm for those who suffer. God not only understands our pain, but also promises to transform our lament into dance. Imagine that seemingly endless weeping one day becomes a cause for celebration and praise. It's as if sadness gives way to joy, which is reborn in full force. The psalmist speaks of exchanging the garments of mourning for garments of joy. It's a powerful image that shows that suffering is not our definitive identity. Life can be hard and the pain real, but God wants to clothe our souls with joy, renewal, and hope. It's not an illusion, it's a living promise, a transformation that begins within us and is reflected in every gesture, in every smile that shines again. I know that in the midst of grief, the idea of dancing may seem distant, almost impossible. But have you ever considered that dancing itself can be a form of praise and liberation? Many biblical traditions show that praise is accompanied by the restoration of joy. And this joy is a miracle of God at work, the victory over discouragement and pain. Psalm 30 also reminds us that suffering has an end. No matter how long the night seems, the dawn brings a promise of renewal. Joy is not a distant reward, but a gift God wants to give to each of us who turns to Him in faith. It is not something we achieve on our own, but a miracle God grants in response to our trust. More than just pretty words, this psalm is an invitation to experience transformation in practice. Begin seeking this change today. Rise even when you're tired. Praise even when your soul is heavy. Give thanks despite difficulties. These small acts of faith and gratitude pave the way for the renewal God wants to bring to your life. And you know what's best? This cycle of pain, transformation, and joy isn't a one-time event. It repeats itself in the lives of those who choose to trust in God. Thus, even in the midst of new challenges, faith remains steadfast, ready for new victories. In the next topic, we'll strengthen this trust and remind you that you are not defeated. It may seem like the world is against you, like the pain is greater than your strength, but let me tell you a truth that can change your day. You are not defeated. We often confuse struggle with defeat, and in reality, what we are experiencing may be preparation for a great victory. God is an expert at rewriting stories, and yours is no exception. When you feel like you've hit rock bottom, remember that the valley isn't the end of the road. The valley is a space where God acts powerfully, where He prepares the ground for miracles. Have you ever imagined that even the greatest prophet faced dark valleys? The difference is that while many give up, those with faith know that the dawn is near. Trust is the key word here. The faith that sustains, that doesn't waver, even in the face of silence or delayed response. It can be difficult, I know, but when you choose to trust, you open up space for transformation, for restoration. It's like planting a seed in hard soil. At first it seems impossible, but with time and care, it germinates. And the miracle? Oh, it does happen. Often, it happens so quietly that we don't even notice it at the time. A new thought, an unexpected strength, a step we didn't even know we could take. God works in our lives in mysterious ways, but always at the right time. So don't be discouraged, don't give up. Furthermore, your victory isn't just for you. It inspires others who are also going through their own nights of tears. Your new beginning, your joy, can be the testimony someone needs to not give up. It's a chain of faith, love, and hope that grows and spreads. And if this message reaches you now, perhaps it's a sign to take that step of faith today. In the next topic, we'll reinforce this with a verse that is the essence of this transformation. This verse from Psalm 30 is a true treasure for those going through difficult times. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. What a powerful promise. The night of suffering may seem long and endless, but the dawn always comes, bringing with the light of hope and renewal. It is a reminder that pain, no matter how intense, has an end. Sometimes, when we're in the middle of a storm, we forget that the sun hides behind the clouds. Crying, even constantly, is not a sign of weakness, but of humanity and courage. It's like the rain that washes the earth, preparing it to blossom. And this morning of joy is not just a passing sensation, but profound transformation of the soul. This verse also invites us to view time differently. The night may last, yes, but it shouldn't define our history. There's a natural cycle of renewal that God has established after mourning, celebration after pain, miracles after silence, praise. And all this because God's presence is constant, even when he seems absent. In times of anguish and loneliness, remembering this promise can be a balm for the heart. When we accept that sadness is temporary, greater faith and hope and trust emerges. And at the same time, this trust generates anticipatory gratitude, the kind of gratitude that gives thanks even before seeing the miracle materialize. It's like planting a tree knowing that, despite the harsh winter, spring will come and bring blossoms and fruit. The secret is to maintain faith, even in the darkness. This verse invites you to hold on to hope and not let today's tears rob you of tomorrow's joy. So, when the night seems endless, remember joy comes in the morning. And this promise can be the first step toward a new beginning. In the next topic, we'll explore how this faith can become a true force in your life. When we talk about faith, the challenge is often to trust without seeing. It's the famous saying, faith is believing in what you don't see. At first, it may seem difficult, like trying to walk a dark path without knowing where you're stepping. But it is precisely in this uncertain terrain that God wants to act, and your trust will be the key to transformation. Anticipatory gratitude is one of the secrets to keeping this faith alive. Have you ever thought about giving thanks, even before you realize things have started to change? It's a powerful exercise, because when you give thanks, your heart changes. Stop focusing on the pain and start seeing the small blessings hidden in everyday life: a smile, a kind word, the air we breathe. This invitation is for you, who are tired, who feel the weight of loneliness and anguish, but who don't want to give up. Believing that God is already at work in your life brings you profound comfort, as if the invisible were beginning to become visible. You may not understand the path now, but you can be sure that the miracle is underway. A practical example of cultivating this faith is to spend a few minutes each day praying with an open heart, thanking God and placing your pain in his hands. You can start slowly, even whispering, "I trust you, even though I don't understand." Over time, this will strengthen your soul and pave the way for renewal. It's also worth seeking spiritual companionship, whether in church, a prayer group, or with friends who share the same faith. The journey becomes easier when we're together, and gratitude grows as we share testimonies of victory, even small ones. This creates a contagious cycle of hope. So, even if you cry today, don't miss the opportunity to sow faith and gratitude. The promised restoration is approaching, and you can now begin to celebrate in your heart. In the next topic, we'll close with praise and a beautiful image of renewal that will comfort your soul. Imagine a weary soul beaten down by the dark night, but now rising with the strength of a new dawn. It is a soul that danced in silence, even amidst the pain, and now celebrates victory with praise and gratitude. It is a moment when light breaks into the darkness and brings the promise of renewal, of restoration that only God can give. The transformation is not only internal, but visible in a way this soul moves through the world with confidence, hope, and a smile that speaks of the miracles experienced. The dance that was once only a dream becomes reality, and praise resonates powerfully, filling every void left by anguish and loneliness. It is the music of reborn faith. The light after the darkness illuminates not only the path, but also the heart. Victory brings with it a special radiance, that radiance that comes from the constant presence of God. And when the soul surrenders to this praise, joy flows like a river that never dries up, washing away any trace of fear or doubt. In this scene, the once suffocating silence gives way to songs of gratitude. It is a moment when faith becomes dance and hope a living flame that never goes out. God's presence is palpable, a constant companion who sustains and comforts, transforming pain into a testimony of victory. Can you imagine this renewal in your life? This is the invitation. Let the light of morning flood your heart. Let praise be your response, and let joy finally embrace you. The new beginning is here, and with it, the certainty that miracles are possible. And so, we end this journey with a renewed soul, ready to sing, dance, and celebrate again. And if this story seems distant today, remember it can begin right now. With a step of faith, a glance toward heaven, and a heart open to receive renewal. Now that you know this powerful promise that transforms nights of tears into mornings of joy, how about taking the first step toward experiencing this transformation in your life? Reflect, what can you do today to strengthen your faith and make way for the miracle? How can you let hope and trust guide your new beginning? The decision is in your hands, and victory is within your reach. Don't let fear or doubt hinder the restoration God is already preparing for you. Start practicing gratitude, cultivate praise even on difficult days, and trust that God's presence never abandons you. And to continue receiving this strength and inspiration, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any content that can illuminate your path. Let's walk together on this path of faith, renewal, and victory. Are you ready to take this step?